Good evening, AOMS families. This is Sam Eshelman, Assistant Principal. Just wanted to spend some time tonight talking to you about sixth grade camp. We are heading back up to Camp Marston again this year at the end of October, and can you believe it? We're already almost at the end of September. So I just wanted to spend some time answering some questions for you, making sure you had all the information to feel good about sending your sixth grader up to Camp Marston and what to expect for that. And again, want to just be a resource for you. We'd love to have as many sixth graders that want to go to camp have the opportunity to do so. And I certainly want you to feel prepared to have those conversations with your Falcon in preparation for heading up to Julian in October the 27th through the 31st. First, I wanted just to point your attention to the Aubrey Arks Middle School website. Underneath the Students tab, there's a link that says sixth grade camp rather. And on this page, there's all kinds of information, not only information about how to register for camp, but also information about recommended packing lists, facilities, all kinds of things. You can get a lot of information from this website. If you still have questions after looking at that site, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to connect you with some information. The most important thing is us having that health history form for our campers. That really is important for us and the YMCA staff to make sure that we are handling all of our students with care and supporting them as best we can. The date to turn that in, the due date, is October the 17th. You can bring that right up to the front office. We'll make sure it gets to the appropriate people. If you have some information or interest in how to pay for camp, our web store is there. If you'd like to donate and help those that maybe aren't as fortunate or need a little bit of financial assistance, there is some links on the web store that allow you to make a donation, and we certainly appreciate those as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about sixth grade camp and just make sure you feel ready to support your student and make sure we can help you make that as great a process as possible. So first, just notice the dates. It's a pretty late date for camp. A couple of our other schools in Carlsbad Unified will already have attended sixth grade camp by the time we go. I've wanted to make sure that we could find that perfect window of time. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler in camp. I certainly think adding it to the week of Halloween adds a little bit of intrigue to camp as well, but we're excited to have it in late October this year. Make sure that as we get closer to our departure date that you check the weather report. Not quite sure what to expect. We can certainly have heat waves at that time of year and it can be warm, but we can also have some cooler evenings. Just remember that Julian is a little bit further up in elevation than us down here in Carlsbad. So be sure to keep an eye on that weather report as you are packing and getting prepared for our trip up to Julian. Wanted to talk a little bit about what to expect on the day that campers will take off on Monday, October the 27th. On most days, we recommend or can talk about drop off at the front of the school. However, on this day, we are asking that families that are dropping off a camper, please park on Ambrosia Drive and drop your camper off there. The reason for this being is that we're going to have obviously a high number of students that'll be preparing to depart for camp. But also we have our normal traffic flow on that day, and we'll have staff that needs to get in and park in the lot. So it's very important that we try to provide that space to accommodate both things. We also have our buses that will be preparing to take us up to Camp Marston, and that'll be on the top of the hill as well. So we would ask that instead you consider dropping off on Ambrosia. If you'd like to park and walk your camper down to say goodbye to them, you can certainly help them. There are stairs that walk down from Ambrosia all the way down to the campus. You may come as far as the front gates where our e-bikes are parked, and then we would ask that you say your goodbyes at that point. Campers will proceed down into the quad. They'll be given a wristband, a color-coded wristband. Their luggage will be sorted. They'll have some duct tape to put on that luggage. It's definitely a well-oiled machine to make sure that students are appropriately positioned. We'll have a designated cabin assignment for them and bus for them to head up to camp. They'll have a teacher chaperone that will support with the supervision and the efforts of that. So just making sure that they are ready and have all those necessary items. They will wait and stage in the gym while we load up the truck. We'll have one designated truck that'll take all of our luggage up to camp. And then we'll load campers into the buses and we'll take off. Our goal is to leave somewhere between 8:45 and 9 o'clock. It does take us some time to get everybody checked in. and ready to go. We're planning to return to campus on October the 31st, again, Halloween. We plan to return between 12 p.m. noon and 1 p.m. We ask that parents, again, make sure that we are awaiting for campers either on Ambrosia or just making sure we're staging and providing that room. We'll have staff that will help coordinate traffic on that day. Students will be dismissed to parents as if that is the normal end of the school day. If students remain on campus past 1:20 on that day, we will keep them here. I'm sorry, it says that they must remain on campus to 1:20. That actually is a regular release on that day, so that would be 2:20. So if parents, if you're not available to come and pick up your kiddo at 1 o'clock, then they'll stay with us until 2:20 as if it was a normal school day. So once again, campers on their return, they'll park their buses up as they drive up the parking lot. They'll come back to campus, we'll load all their luggage, they'll collect their things, and then we can dismiss from there. As you are considering what to pack for camp, please be aware of the following. Each student is allowed one small duffel bag or suitcase and a sleeping bag and bedding for their bunk. If you'd like to bring sheets or a pillow, certainly fine on that front. There are some recommended packing lists. I'll show you where you can find that in a few minutes. But please just make sure that you're kind of keeping an eye on what are some appropriate things. But this is what we recommend for students to bring as to what is allowed. Very, very important that students label all their belongings. As you might imagine, many bags look the same. And so it's very important, as items will get lost or misplaced, that items have duct tape or some Sharpie writing on them. Please make sure first and last name on all items. So that suggested packing list, this is on the Aviara Oaks Middle School website. On that camp page, there are some things that you should bring, items that you should avoid bringing. So that suggested packing list is there. Please make sure you're taking a look at that. Again, since this is late October, we are anticipating probably some cooler temperatures, especially in the evening time. So consider that as you are packing. As far as the must not bring items, just items to keep an eye on. One that I wanted to very much point out, and I know this is difficult, however, that is to not bring cell phones. So school rules apply. We really want to make sure students have an opportunity as they are getting up into Julian, into nature, to kind of separate from that technology a little bit. And I know that's really difficult in terms of wanting to check in and connect with your student. We are going to try to post as many pictures as we can. I can't promise that we'll get every student. We usually have between 250 and 300 students up at camp. So I'll try to get as many pictures as we can and post those so you can kind of see. Certainly there are landline phones up at camp. So we want to make sure that students have the opportunity, should they really desire to connect with you. So we'll definitely have that opportunity. But please make sure that they are not packing their cell phone. So once again, items that would be appropriate for school, those are fine. But all these items listed, including cell phones, should not come with students up to camp. And I will say, having been up at camp, there's not a terrific amount of cell service anyway. But please make sure that we are encouraging students and talking to them about keeping those cell phones at home. If you'd like to take some pictures, feel free to bring a disposable camera to take those. We will have a number of opportunities on nature walks and other type things that they may want to capture some of those moments. So if you'd like to bring a disposable camera, that's more than fine. In previous years, there was a camp store where students could purchase certain things. For this particular week that we were up there will not be a camp store open. Please make sure that students are not bringing any cash. Obviously, as you might imagine, there could be some issues with students, so please make sure they're not bringing any money up to camp. I talked about cell phones. Again, please make sure we're supporting that idea of unplugging, getting up into nature, really just thinking about how this is an opportunity for them to kind of separate. Doing some reading myself as a parent over the summer, just that importance of kind of getting away from screens, spending some time away from technology, that human connection piece, certainly with their peers. If you can support that, certainly want to make sure that we're giving those students that opportunity. I'll post this as well in this slide presentation. This is a YMCA Camp Marston produced video on what to expect when students are up at camp. So I'll make sure that this is delivered to you so you can kind of watch this as well. Some information I'll have already covered. Some things might be new, but definitely want you to kind of have a better feel and look of what camp looks like. So once again, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out directly to me. My phone number, my email address are on this slide's presentation. Happy to talk through any camp questions that you might have. Make sure that you're feeling really comfortable about sending your kiddo up to camp. One final thing that I'll point out, or actually two items, and that is kind of more on the what not to bring to camp item, and that is very important that we have an understanding of any medications that your student may need to bring. Those should not be packed in bags. We will have a separate bus that carries up any over-the-counter or prescription medication. So please do not pack those in bags. We need to be able to administer those appropriately to your student. And so making sure that we have that. And then secondly is food. Please do not send your camper with any food. Make sure that if they do have a food allergy, that is communicated in the health history form. There is a wide variety of food options in the cafeteria. YMCA does an excellent job of catering to a variety of dietary needs. Please make sure you are not sending your camper with food. Okay, that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. I definitely want to make sure that I'm available to answer any questions that you may have. And feel free to reach out. Again, the camper page on our website is a terrific resource. Some FAQs on there, including some links with some more information from Camp Marston. We are certainly excited to have your campers join us up at Julian at Camp Marston at the end of October. Please, 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 if you are planning on coming, turn in those forms, those health history forms, so you can bring them right to the office. And we look forward to another great year at camp. Thank you so much.